Santa Cruz County Public Media friends and family, thank you again for watching us. We are closing today with Meet Your Local Candidates. We got reached out for another candidate around our county, and like we always share, our Santa Cruz County Public Media, we love Nogales. We are always happy to have our community leaders. We believe that we can make a great area to live, a great area to share amazing work that our community leaders are working on and what they're doing. So today I have the pleasure of welcome to our We Love Nogales studio to Gregory Benoist. He is running for District 2 for Supervisor as a write-in candidate. I think we should highlight that part because at the moment we are receiving our ballots, which is almost time. We are hoping that all Santa Cruz County, it's outside voting early or voting in person, because it's already time, November 5th. It's like next week.
Yeah, Tuesday.
So welcome, Gregory.
Thank you.
Please share a little bit about yourself. Why are you running for District 2 for Board of Supervisor, and why it happened to be as a write-in candidate?
Okay. Well, thank you for having me again.
Of course.
It's been a few months. My name is Gregory Benoist. I typically go by Greg. I decided to run for candidate because for District 2 Supervisor because I saw a lot of problems that paralleled my personal life as well, affecting the community. I didn't grow up with a lot of resources. My parents were working class, and then my dad got sick. So a lot of our money was tied up in medical debt. Mm-hmm. And so we had to figure out creative ways to make it through the week and how to make things last. And honestly, there was a meeting with the Board of Supervisors where the attitude of the board toward the constituency that was there was inappropriate to me. It was more of a hostile take toward the people that were there complaining and showing criticism than accepting the criticism and realizing that mistakes were made and that responsibility needed to be taken. I think that we can do a better job of that, and we have opportunities now to rip the Band-Aid off. Mm-hmm. Because we're wounded as a community. We just lost $40 million. We just had an article come out confirming that we are not going to recover all of that money, and that is something that it was kind of an elephant in the room the entire time. Okay. The vehicles that were bought are never going to be recovered to the same value that they were purchased at. Right. We're never going to recover money that was used for vacations or for clothing or for dinners or anything like that, because it's already spent and gone, and it's not like we can recover the dinners. We may be able to recover some of the money from the ranches and other properties, mm-hmm. but again, that depends on value, and the people that have money to be able to afford to buy $3 million ranch mm-hmm. properties are not necessarily the people that are going to sit there and negotiate at value. They're going to negotiate that price down. Cool. So we are not going to recover $40 million. But what we do recover, we need to make stretch for a long time. And we have to understand we have a lot of resources already that we can be utilizing in different ways and becoming more creative. I've already mentioned this to other people, but we have a JTED program that we use from Tucson down to here, and we bus people up, mm-hmm. right? And there's talks of trying to start that same similar program down here, to have a vocational program down here, mm-hmm. and needing money to create facilities and stuff to start that program up. Right. But if we get creative and reuse some of the resources we already have and mm-hmm. take some of the programs and opportunities we already have, like the high school having the farm and then the schools also having that food truck, we can take that and turn that into an opportunity to turn it into a vocational program that mm-hmm. has different disciplines in it. We have automotive businesses available that are like shuttered. There's one just up the road in just north of Palo Parado, okay. up on Pendleton.
Yes.
and it's shuttered down. It has a private property sign. But if we approached that person and maybe acquired that building, rehab that building into being a garage, you could have an automotive program, or getting skilled trades out there is a good idea. I'm all for it. I'm also for union jobs, but I'd like to see people that can fend for themselves and not have to go and interview for a job to get a paycheck. Because if they can fend for themselves, they can make a living here or anywhere, not just where the jobs are at.
I see. Thank you, and thank you for sharing. I know we've seen you around District 2. You were doing, sometimes you're covering events, taking pictures.
Yes.
But we also saw you, and I think we're gonna share some images as well, going around in our community, picking up trash, but at the same time, connecting with others, sharing all that information, sharing all those ideas. So tell us a little bit about yourself as well, so we can,
Sorry. My dad kind of instilled the volunteering into me as a child. I was voluntold a lot. We did the pancake breakfast, and I actually made a comment. I think your husband actually saw my comment that this was one of that pancake breakfast that they just recently, the fire department just had. It was the first pancake breakfast I attended where I was not helping, which was kind of odd for me. I'm usually the either a gopher or like taking care of the sausage or something, right? So it was really interesting being on the guest side of things. And then the pictures I sent to you, two of those events were from Santa Cruz County Shining. They're a local nonprofit. They do regular cleanup events, and they're working with the county to try and do a semi-annual event, which would be really nice. But they are dedicated to cleaning up Santa Cruz County and trash pickup, and so I go out to their events whenever I can if I don't already have some like higher priority going on. I was at the Tumacacori National Park, and then also at the Frontage Road cleanup. Actually, Jesus Juarez and I were on the same team on the Frontage Road. And then another event for cleanup was run by Rio Rico Sanitation and other community members, where we cleaned up the Frontage Road from Rio Rico Drive just up to Circular Mercado.
I see. Yeah, thank you. And then you go out, you support. I know you are a big supporter of small businesses, local businesses. You go around and take pictures at different pop-up events, and just the connection that we have, together as local entrepreneurs developing in the area of Rio Rico, where your district will be. It's you sharing, with the community and the ideas, a little bit of what you just share, the developing, the continue to grow all, together with the support. Tell us a little bit about.
So covering the events and doing that, it helps me get out and being behind the camera, it helps me kind of meet new people, I guess. It's a way for me to not have to be the person in the room in order to be in the room, that camera I have is pretty. People have seen it. It's got a grip on it. It has a fuzzy microphone on it to protect it from wind noise, so I can do video without in the wind. But no, it's a setup I got. I started doing photography for cars because I'm a car enthusiast. I have a sports car, and then that turned into I was going out to other events and stuff, and I was doing nature photography. And the Nichols car show last year is when I actually started really coming out to events with the community and taking pictures. And people saw the camera and they're like, "Oh, are you with the news?" And it's like, "No, I'm not actually with the news. It's just my camera and take pictures." But it kind of went from doing cars to doing full events and getting more pictures. I'm getting more comfortable with that. And I came down and took pictures at the marathon, the Nogales Marathon. They didn't turn out the greatest because I'm not a sports photographer, but I'm learning that. I got some interesting stuff.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing all your pictures.
And I try to do that, and sharing them, it lets people know that there are events that people show up to, and there's a lot of things to do, and you can bring your family out to these events. The trunk or treats are coming up. There's two coming up in the next couple days.
Right.
There's one at the Mariposa Plaza, and then there's actually two up in Rio Rico, one
Yes.
at Firehouse 1, I believe, and then the
Yes.
other one is at the community center.
Correct.
So, I mean, there's plenty of places for you to go and get candy with the kids, be safe, and not have to go climbing through the mountains,
Exactly.
house to house, and have to walk 5 acres.
Yes.
So I love the trunk or treats. I think they're a much better way of doing things. It keeps kids from having to cross the street or walk out in the dark.
I think so,
And
too.
it's a much safer environment for everybody.
Exactly.
So yeah, please attend those. I'm gonna have my camera. I'll be at the community center one with my car, and I'll have my camera out, and I'll be taking pictures and stuff there.
Thank you. And as running for District 2 for Board of Supervisors,
Yes.
as a writing, Gregory Benoist.
Yes.
What will be, your hopes and dreams for, a great district and obviously, yeah, of course, for a great Board of Supervisors within this district of Santa Cruz County. But I know your section, your district is District 2. So what will be, your hopes and dreams to start developing what you're sharing, like our community to get to strength out within, our families, our children, our work, or
Yep. Yeah. So I want to. Well, first off, the whole point of me running is to try and make it so that we can rip that Band-Aid off and get things started in the right direction for to hand it off to the next generation of people. It would only a maximum of 2 terms. I expect that it would take more than 2 terms, considering the amount of work that needs to be done at this point. But the community here has suffered quite a bit from the loss of the resort and the golf course. Those were really bringing people in to spend money at the local businesses. We need to bring people in those things. We have a lot of people coming down to Peña Blanca and going to Patagonia, and they're coming down I-19 to do so. And we have the majority of the population is in this corridor of I-19 in Rio Rico and Nogales. That's 2/3 of the population. That's why Districts 1 and 2 are right here. And District 3 is basically the rest of the county. So we have an opportunity to take the I-19 corridor and allow local businesses to grow, not just place in big names to bring in people off of the street, but actually get advertising out there for the local businesses so that people know that they exist. Like making sure that they are available online, making sure that they are connected. And part of bringing the technology down is going to help with that. When we have the fiber lines run down right now, there's negotiations with an ISP coming down from Tucson to finish the fiber run so that we have better internet services down here, because our backbone is getting overloaded. And you can feel it after everybody's home from work and from school. You can tell the internet kind of slows down. And it's countywide because our backbone is outdated and needs to be upgraded. They've run the conduit for it. They just need to run the fiber and connect everything up. And I think there's opportunities for that as well. There's that vacant building that used to be a federal building. It used to be DEA, I believe. That's right there, right by Cotamundi.
by
Or
Calabasas.
Calabasas, yes. Sorry. Yeah, so it's right there.
Yes.
And that would make a great opportunity to terminate the ISP setup in there, and you can actually set up multiple ISPs out of that building, and then you could actually generate revenue for the county by leasing out to the ISPs the space where they can actually have their equipment in there to run their services.
Right.
And they could have 24-hour access to it. It'll be a secure building. It's already secure.
Yes.
So infrastructure wouldn't have to be totally changed in order to make that a secure
Right.
facility. But going back to the other things, we can take the school systems and we need to make sure that we're gearing children toward not just being button pushers or paycheck collectors, but
Right.
actually able to take care of themselves. Like, I want children that can select their own produce
Yes.
and cook their own food, not just buy a box of food and dump it out.
Right.
It's better in our long run. It's better for our health overall as a community to be able to do those things. That being said, we have plenty of like food trucks and other things that we need to be doing a better job of supporting. Lately, there's been some issues where people have been complaining about the county coming down too hard on certain businesses, and certain community events are starting to hurt because the county is not taking the time to understand and foster these opportunities that people are given. So people are being turned off from taking those opportunities and being out there. I want to reverse that and make sure that they know that they're welcome, and we want them. And we want them to grow their brand out of Santa Cruz County. We want them to build their brand and grow it here. We don't want, and like I said, bringing in a big box name is not going to be great for the community. It may create a few jobs, it may create some convenience, but it won't create a long-term sustainable equity for the community. It's only going to build convenience, not the equity. If you take one of the businesses down here in Nogales that are on Morley or whatnot, give them a second location further up, or even something out in Sonoyta, they can have an opportunity to build and grow their business that way, instead of having to have another big box come in.
Yes.
And it provides us more opportunities that way.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you for sharing all those great ideas within our community, through our platform of We Love Nogales, Santa Cruz County Public Media, because that's our goal, to share informative and educational news to the world, broadcasting our whole community to the world. And if if any of those ideas get to put together, we can all see our community leaders here sharing ideas and working and talking about education, about families, about schools, and all what it's connecting us together. We definitely know that it will build us better. We will have a healthy community and a healthy city, and a strong community within the whole district, the whole Santa Cruz County. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing your background from where you started, your thoughts about running for board of supervisors, for sharing all those hopes and dreams for integrating the community, the schools, and we wish you luck. If there's anything that I don't want to leave anything behind, but if you can please address our community, I would love for you to close our I'm so sorry, our interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just if you can share also the importance of voting.
Yes, yeah, no, voting
what
makes a
will
huge
be
difference.
important to vote for Gregory Benoist as a county supervisor for District Number 2, and how, if you can teach us how we're gonna, write in a write-in candidate.
I'll do the write-in candidate part first. In my case, there's only 2 write-in candidates in this election. It's myself and Carla Romero.
Okay.
She would be under treasurer, and then I am under District 2, and you will only see District 2 if you are in District 2.
I see.
So if you're in District 3 or District 1, you will not see it. You cannot vote for me. You can vote for one of the other candidates that are running in those districts. But as far as mine, District 2, you'll see the 3 other candidates that I'm running against. And they are named, and then you'll see a blank line underneath them with a ellipse at the beginning of it, just like they have. You have to fill in the ellipse at the beginning of that line, and then you have to write my name down. So you write in Gregory Benoist, and then that vote will be counted toward me. If you vote for anybody else other than those 3 or myself, for that, it won't count, because you have to actually be filed with the county in order to run, even if you're a write-in candidate. You have to still fill out the same candidate financial statements and everything. And I didn't reach a threshold of $1,400, so I didn't have to do a committee or anything else like that. So my campaign is just me. I spent about $900. I'm not trying to go crazy with it. There's only 60,000 people in this community. I don't feel like you need to spend $1 million to reach out to everybody, especially if you're a good person and show the community that you care. As far as, I'm sorry, there were other parts of the question.
And what will be important to vote for?
Important. The main reason to vote is to make sure that your voice is heard. Honestly, I'm one of the people that thinks if you don't vote, you don't get a say. So I really want to encourage everybody to vote. I have voted since I was 18 in every election that I've been eligible to vote in because it is important. I went to a school system that really hammered away voting is important. And it does determine the way things go. If you want your community to go a certain way, you have to get out and vote, because the leadership that is voted in, the representatives that you vote in to represent the community, are the ones that you're voting for. And if you vote for the wrong candidate or the person that doesn't have the best interest of the community at heart, it gets in, it's not going to go the way the community wants. Youth need to vote, honestly. That is one of the biggest things right now, is if the youth can swing. Right now we're in the middle of like the boomer generation losing their majority to the next two generations, and the third generation is becoming a voting age now. So those three younger generations of millennial, Gen X, and Alpha combined can make decisions and influence the way the election goes and trade up for their future instead of what the past wants to have as the future. I think it's time for millennial and Alpha to step up and start taking on roles, because the people that are making decisions now are not going to see all the effects of the decisions they are making today. And we are. So we should be the ones making decisions that we're going to be feeling in 20 years.
I see. And thank you. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you also for the explanation. I think, it's also one of our goals to expand the knowledge and all like our youth generation about, how to vote, when to vote, where to vote, because, sometimes
we've made voting really easy in this state too. You can do mail-in voting. Like you can go. There's many state agencies that are actually sending out here's voter registration information. It's even through Access. Access has sent out information. So Access, the ADOT. So find out where to register to vote. Register to vote. I believe it's too late this year. But you can still do same-day ballot voting, which is. If you got your mail-in ballot, you can turn it in the same day at a polling station. You can also drop it off at any of the drop boxes that are available through the county. I did mine this past weekend. I had it filled out and ready to go. It's just I was so busy. I did it when I was going to the grocery store. So it was just while I was doing the errands. But get out and vote. It's very important.
So let's collect our ballots. It's time. Collect our ballots, and let's take it to the places where we can go and vote. Go in person with your ballot and take it over there. It's already happening. It's on next Tuesday already. So we only have a couple of days. Just fill it out, take it with you, or just go in person and vote. But don't forget to make your voice count, and look at all of our Meet Your Local candidates, get to know all of them, and this is why we're here. This is our platform for everyone. And Gregory Benoist, thank you for being here today with us. And also, we share with all of our local leaders, this platform, it's always open for our local leaders. Come anytime, give us updates, anything that you have or you're been planning within the community, any update, please feel free to come. We want to make sure that we share who our Santa Cruz County is, who is We Love Nogales, Santa Cruz County Public Media, and all the work behind that goes through future leaders or leaders already working on selected places. So thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget to go and vote, and thank you again to all of our allies. Thank you so much, because without all of you, this Santa Cruz County Public Media broadcasting our community to the world wouldn't be able to happen. So thank you so much for that. And thank you, Gregory Benoist, running for Santa Cruz County District 2 as a write-in candidate. Así que muchísimas gracias. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you very soon. Hasta luego. Thank you so much.